vinyl community. I'm going to try this again. I went through the whole thing and it never taped. Son of a gun. So we're going to try this one more time. My name is Greg. You're at the Three Dimensions of Music channel. And welcome to my home. I wanted to do a follow-up to a vinyl tag that was created by Chris Propfe. His channel was Chris Propfe, Musically Obsessed. And Chris, he's always thinking up some cool stuff to keep the vinyl community engaged. This particular tag is called Spell Vinyl, V-I-N-Y-L. Anyways, I digress. Mostly, I guess, in records or your music, and I'm going to pick one CD, but I'll allude to that why later. Let me see if we can keep this moving along. First one, Chris. I'm hoping Chris watches this anyways because I'm addressing him because it's his tag. I hope that doesn't sound weird, but I picked Voivod. Now, so did Chris. Same album, I believe. I really love this album. The only other V's I have is Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I kind of thought back from your previous tag that you tried to start up with. It was called I'm Sick of These Albums Being Shown. And I figured that Stevie Ray Vaughan was kind of worn out too, even though I love him. I have a lot of them. I don't have many V's. So I picked out the Voivod, but you picked out that too. So I picked out something else that's pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys, this guy's Eddie Vedder. He's lead singer of Pearl Jam. But this was his actually first foray into soloing. Now this particular CD though, if you type in Eddie Vedder solo albums, you don't really see this Into the Wild. And I kind of wanted to find out why, so I typed in Into the Wild, and then here it turns out it was a film. And this film was made by Sean Penn. He read the story about this kid that graduated from college. He was about 20 years old. He was disillusioned with society, with everybody around him, so he wanted to disappear. So he told his parents he's given up all his inheritance, everything, and he was just going to disappear. And his parents, I don't know how they reacted, because there's a book written by a particular author that wrote about this story, because it must have hit this guy, Joe Krakauer, or is it John Krakauer? And it's about a person, his young man's name is Christopher, how about that, Chris? Christopher McCandless. He went to Emory University. He was a great athlete, a stellar student, but when he got done, he was just disillusioned. So he went into Alaska, probably with just the clothes on his back, from what I could tell. I'm going to have to find that book, Into the Wild, and see. But Sean Penn found that book, and he made a movie out of it. He wanted to make a movie out of it. He was so moved by it. And if anybody knows how Sean Penn, when he directs movies, they are good movies. Say what you will about Sean Penn as the actor and the activist. I don't really mix them all up. I appreciate people's talents, and he's a great director. I mean, I love him as an actor too. Anyways, he made this film, and he asked Eddie Vedder to write the score for it. So Eddie Vedder was very interested in doing that. This was right around when he was very popular with Pearl Jam, so he wanted to branch out and do something different. This was actually his first solo effort, but it's a movie score more than anything. It's not. He's got a few solo efforts out there, which I do not have any of them, but this one turned out really nice. It's actually mixed, and I was surprised to see, by Bob Ludwig back in the day. This is around 2002, something like that, or maybe 2007, because Sean Penn made the movie in 2007. This was early 2000s when this tragedy happened. I say tragedy because this gentleman, Christopher, went out to the wilds of Alaska with maybe just the clothes on his back and his boots. And he ended up, after 100 days, he got food poisoning, and he died of malnutrition. So he must have just wasted away out there. They must have found him and figured that out. Like I said, I didn't read the book, but it was a great story. And there's actually another kid that died in Oregon that did the same thing. He died in the wilderness in Oregon, so it moved him so much that he wanted to do that. I hope there's nobody else that tries this out, because I don't think I could handle it. But there's probably a few people that could. Anyways, I think you would like this, Chris, because it's a lot of deep thought as far as verses. He wrote, Eddie Vedder, keep got Chris on the mind. Eddie Vedder wrote all the songs except for two, and he performed all the instruments. There was nobody else involved in this. So it was very, very good. It's only about 33, 34 minutes long. Anyways, that is V for vinyl, Vedder, okay? Avoid one other way. Next one, kind of predictable, I guess. I was going to pick Iron Maiden, but I always like this one. This is a 12-inch 4-track extended play, Billy Idol. I always love his energy. It's on Crystallis, and the 4 songs on this, Eyes Without a Face, one of my favorites from him. Dead Next Door, Dancing with Myself is another favorite. And then Rebel Yell. Of course, everybody knows Rebel Yell. Billy Idol. And it's a beautiful sounding record, it really is. And in vinyl. Anybody recognize this? I think my man Steve, the Zonk Man, might know who that is. Anyways, I might be holding it upside down. Which way is right? Anyways, 9 Inch Nails, Hesitation Marks. As you can see, 9 Inch Nails, Hesitation Marks. Great industrial metal. I love to hear that once in a while. Just like Tool or any other kind of metal that I'm feeling for. Get that tune going. Okay, now I did watch Chris's earlier tag that he tried to get rolling, and it was called Sick of Seeing Them Albums, Don't Show Them Anymore. Come on, man, right? Well, Chris, I know this is going to trigger you for why, right? Yeah, yes, close to the edge, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that back, and to avoid any drama, this is the one I'll choose for why, okay? All right, lastly for L, this is an album that I don't see many talking about on the VC, at least not very often. The Jeff Lorber Fusion Project. This is called Soft Space, one of my favorites. It's jazz fusion. Jeff Lorber is a whiz on the, I believe he's on the synthesizers. Yeah, piano, Fender Rhodes, Moog. And Chick Corea's on here. Joe Farrell, saxophone. Love Joe Farrell. Great stuff. This is actually, if you ever see this out in the wild, it would not be a mistake to pick it up. Jeff Lorber, a Fusion. Thank you so much, guys. I raise my glass. Woo. I raise my glass to everybody in the VC. It's so much fun watching all your videos. I try to comment as many as I can. I'm too busy listening to music, though. I can comment on videos, but I won't know what you're saying. So I try to fit them in as much as I can. I want to say hi to Tony P., my friend just across the way. And always, Steve. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. Let us pray for our leaders. They make the right decisions and not drag us into anything. It's a trying world. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's see if this button will work.